Welcome back to the Take a Sip podcast. My name is Tito.
And I'm Leche.
And as always, Leche, what are you sipping on this week?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know what I have exactly. I just got it off the fridge, right? So this is one of Ezzy's drinks that he had there.
Oh gosh.
It's an Angry Orchard, right? But this one says that it's baked apple pie.
Baked apple pie?
Yeah, baked apple pie.
I know that they have an apple cider flavor, right? Or something like that. And then a black cherry.
It's cider, technically speaking. Like the Angry Orchards are literally just all apple ciders.
Well, yeah.
But this one's like baked apple pie. I don't know what it means.
So it might be more like cinnamony in it.
It smells like it. Yeah. What about you?
Huh, that's interesting. Speaking of seltzers, I don't have a seltzer. I am drinking a Gatorade, a fruit punch Gatorade. But that was actually something I wanted to kind of shout out a little bit. There is a brewing company that does hard seltzers. They're called Happy Dad, right? And they have, it was an exclusive that the restaurant I work at were able to get some.
Yeah.
That's the fruit punch flavor. And I'm not kidding you. Opening the can and smelling it, it smells like a red Gatorade.
Oh.
And even tasting it tastes like a Gatorade with like soda, like the bubbles, right?
With the alcohol bubbles.
It is so good. It's like a 5% seltzer, but it has electrolytes in it. So it won't give you that much of like, depending on how much you drink, right? The headache won't be as bad or whatever. So it's actually pretty freaking cool. I want to try other flavors that they have, but so far I've only tried the fruit punch one. And if you could get your hands on it, I definitely recommend taking a sip of one.
Yeah, that sounds interesting.
Yeah. And even the
seltzer with electrolytes built into it.
Yeah. And for a 5% seltzer, right? Like,
yeah, that's pretty interesting. Something I need to look into.
Yeah. And the name, like I said, Happy Dad is just so fun to say sometimes. What are you drinking? Just a Happy Dad?
Just a Happy Dad.
Oh, yeah. But besides that, we also have a pretty interesting week this week. Newses, announcements.
Mm-hmm.
That honestly, we'll see how long this episode takes because we might be rambling on for a bit with these news.
Yeah. There's some hype news for sure.
Oh, yeah. The biggest hype right now that we have, and if you're a big Demon Slayer fan as well, we know our next arc is coming around, the Swordsmith Village arc. And recently they put out, Crunchyroll had a trailer for Demon Slayer that slowly introduced the upper moons, two of which we already met in the last season and last movie. And some that if you haven't seen, then you're not much of a big Demon Slayer fan as you think you are. Because hopefully starting by the end of this season is when the real action comes alive in the show.
Sink your meat into the fucking craziness of what it is, Demon Slayer.
Yes.
They explain so much in this arc just for the
100%.
Spoiler, Yeah. I don't want to spoil nothing. So
we get in the season, by the way, we should be seeing two more upper moons appear in this arc specifically, our main antagonists, with also introducing about 2 or 3 of the other Hashiras that we have not met. We met
them, but we'll see what their actual abilities are.
Their actual fighting styles.
We get to know them. We get to know those characters.
Yes, and I believe we pretty much already know it is the Miss Hashira and the Love Hashira.
Mm-hmm.
Which both have pretty interesting backstories as well. So it is going to be interesting seeing it in action on screen, right? What are your thoughts on this? I know you're more informed on this than I am.
All I can say is a lot happened. A lot of people die. A lot of people die. Not in this one in particular. So don't get your hopes up on that. But there's a lot of story development in this. There's a lot of news that we get, new abilities that we get to find out that people can unlock and shit like that. So it's definitely could be.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. This is when they get the. I mean, they kind of teased it in the sorry, in the entertainment district where
Yes.
Tanjiro got the thing like flared up on like the mark on his forehead flared up, and like that was just a little tease and nod for the people who knew. Who'd be like, "Oh my god, that's it! Yeah,
that's the thing. That's
the thing." Yeah. So, and don't worry, I don't want to spoil nothing. That's why I'm not really explaining what it is, but it was teased that in that season.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
So they do explain a little bit more of that, and I believe towards the end of that season or that arc is where more of the Hashiras unlock that ability and find out what it actually does.
Yes.
So I'm excited.
So now you know it's an ability for the good guys, not for the evil ones.
Yeah. Oh, there's superpowers that the villains get too. Don't worry about
100%. I mean, we even just saw oh my god, why am I blinking on her name? Tanjiro's sister. Nezuko. I don't know why I forgot that. We even saw Nezuko start learning her abilities in a weird way. By the end of the Entertainment District arc, we also saw her being able to control one of them a lot more than the rest. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see her growth as well. Well, her growth and her growth, as we saw in the last season.
That growth was more prevalent than people thought it was going to be for her.
Yes, but it could have been worse, as per the actual manga.
Right. That's true. Fuck me, I forgot.
But according to also the manga, and I believe us other news information with a specific Hashira we're getting this season, there is a scene that I believe we are getting. I just want to know how actual sort of coverage we're going to get with this Hashira, because it is full spectrum of what we see in the manga.
Let's just say they do it for the fans, right?
Yes. Yes.
Which ones? That's for you to decide.
Exactly.
For you to think about. But yeah, dude, I think they're killing it. The studio that's in charge of making those episodes are ridiculous. I feel there was no expense fucking like wasted.
No.
That last 2 episodes of the Entertainment District. If that is what we're getting, bro, man, I can't even imagine further down the line where we're gonna be fucking getting, bro.
I mean, we keep talking about it every time this conversation comes up. The Forever Castle, right? Like that, the castle in general is like the one we're all waiting for, and I feel like we always go to this this arc. We like keep jumping the boat and like swimming forward, but
we talk about that one specifically for people who don't know. Is a lot of main characters die, a lot of villains die. There's so many people fucking die. Honestly, so many people. That's like if we want to put it in perspective of like hierarchy of how crazy that is literally because, dude, I don't even know how to put it into scope of how huge that is, right? Like that arc in particular. It's like fucking seeing Goku turn Super Saiyan for the first time. Like hype. You got me like, oh my 100%. God, we just witnessed some crazy shit, anime history type of shit. You got me?
Yeah.
So, like that type of level that I think we might get. We'll see, unless they fucking butcher it, of course. And I
hope they don't.
God forbid that doesn't happen, but
yeah. Well, especially in that arc, I hope they keep up this whole what budget type of mentality. No, by the time we get the end of it, it's just going to be a stick figure flip book that someone's just going to be flipping in front of the camera.
It's literally just some dude's hand just go the flickering.
It's not even like white paper. It's all on sticky notes.
So
it changes from yellow to blue to pink to whatever.
Oh no, not even one solid color. Dude. Couldn't even afford that.
Oh gosh. Um, and still going on with this hype train, especially what we spoke about last week, right? So DC Comics and the movieverse they're creating that we spoke about last week also announced recently that they are making a sequel for The Batman, the one starring Robert Pattinson, is already in production or should be starting production soon and should be released on October 3rd, 2025. So there is still over 2.5 years of wait time until this shows up. But
I'm still amazed that they even gave us an actual date. You get me?
a set date already, yeah.
And on top of that, like, I know they said, like, oh, even James Gunn said, like, we might continue that one. We might continue that Batman. But I didn't think they were going to actually fall through with it and be like, yeah, we're going to continue it because he did a killer job. You get me?
Yeah.
He's what I've heard, because I haven't seen the movie myself, unfortunately.
I know.
That it's actually really good. It's actually, like, it's decent.
Is this one on HBO Max? Yeah.
Is it?
I know. I'm asking just in case.
Oh, I think it is or was, but I needed to check because I definitely I probably should watch it to put my own input on that.
I know.
But I know people told me that it's actually really, really good. That it's worth watching it for sure. There's some.
It is. It is on HBO Max. I think I know what I'm watching tonight.
Yeah. So maybe we'll talk a little bit more in depth once we watch it for sure ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah. No, go.
No.
So this was my question to you. Do you think this verse of Batman will be affected by anything that we spoke about last week when they're pretty much resetting everything with the Flashpoint, the Flash film, and the whole James Gunn thing that we spoke about, trying to reset the whole DC, the whole DC verse, so it has a set timeline. They do it right and proper while also leaving behind the quote unquote issues that we've been having the past few months with this years.
So what I think what they're going to do just to alleviate all that issue is they're going to give one stamp and just call it a day and be like, yep, there's nothing you can do because it's not really part of them, like DCEU. You get me? Just put that elsewhere mark that he was talking about throughout the thing else. If he has that elsewhere mark, that means this is a different multiverse that we're talking about.
Okay.
You get me? So it's in its own sub thing and it's bubbled out pretty much. So it's not part of the main continuity that we're going to know, essentially.
Right.
So
well, let alone
that's what they're going to do.
Yeah. Well, let alone too that we know of this Batman, of the BatPat, is that this is more of him in his younger age, right? When he's still like, not that he's learning to be Batman, but it focuses more on his detective side of things. As we've heard, and again, we haven't watched the film. Well, as in the Batmans that we see in the films and stuff is him much older, right? Learning to be part of the Justice League and working with others while maintaining his humanity, right? And also being a friend to these heroes. So I think it's
that, or we've seen like the begrudgingness of like the years of doing this, being tired of being Batman and shit like that.
Yeah.
So that was definitely a fresh take. It's like him first few years in of being Batman, getting introduced to new villains, villains he never thought could even pop up because of him being there. You get me?
Exactly.
So that's the change of pace that movie get brought. And that's what I heard. There was a change of pace because it definitely gave insight of how smart and how much of a great detective he was.
Yeah.
I'm like, good, because that's how literally he is supposed to be known as the world's greatest detective.
World's greatest, yeah. And again, to have Robert Pattinson, such a great actor, right? To hold his own and hold such an iconic role, right? That takes a lot too, where it's like, even if you are a great actor, it sometimes gets to your head, like, I need to do this role justice, knowing how popular and important it is to pop culture and the news in some ways, right? If it's like based on real events.
It sucks to say like this because of the fandom the fandom Batman in particular. I'm not even talking about DC. Fuck DC. Just Batman, the character, has how many fans, how many beloved followers that character has, and behind it, if he fucked it up the first time, and they know that they were gonna make a second one, they would have been clowned out of closing that shit.
Oh yeah.
But because he killed it, because he did his research, because he played the role so fantastically, nobody's batting an eye in making a second one. You get me?
Not at
I'm actually glad he's making another one, honestly.
Kind of distracting us from all of this other BS that we're going through right now, right?
That's including that. That's just the cherry on top, right?
But that's what distracting. But that's what I'm saying. Like, this is now after everything we've heard recently from DC, right? All the bad news, but there's still like the good news of the new projects that what they're working on, both movies and shows and animation. Knowing that this already has such a good first round, coming for a second one, they now have to top it, and it's going to be just as good, right? That's like kind of like a blessing in disguise. Like, they're now putting this in front of us to slowly start forgetting of what they're working on.
They're trying to build that goodwill slowly, right? They're teasing. Exactly. We're making a second one of these. It's going to be elsewhere, but we're bringing the whole cast back, all that stuff. Come in a few years, just give us some time. You're like, yo, I mean, good. I mean, that's good. No one's mad about that. Yeah. You're open with us. You're telling us exactly what's going on. I'm like, who's going to get mad at that? You get me?
Exactly.
They're trying to build the goodwill back for DC. James Gunn is doing a fantastic job on that end.
100%. And speaking of building awesome stuff back from wherever it's been buried, it has been officially announced, and it is officially in the works, that I Am Legend 2, starring Will Smith, will be also joined alongside with Michael B. Jordan. Now, I don't know about you.
There's a lot to unpack for just that. You get me?
That one sentence had a lot. First off, I Am Legend, the first one, was such a great film. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I really, really enjoyed that film.
No, I'm not gonna lie. I enjoyed it too. Yeah.
It also had one of the saddest movie deaths I can fully remember. Right? So now for it to be it is. So now to be coming back, I want to see what sort of time skip they do.
So the real question is, though, too, on top of this, I mean, you say that. Continue your thought there.
Yeah, what sort of time skip they do, or what sort of flashbacks they make, right? Because supposedly the Will Smith character died in the first one.
That's what I was going to get into. Yeah.
And do we see any sort of world coming back to normal? Because in the end, we do see this whole army area, cutoff area, where people who weren't sick were able to come and live a civilized place, right? But we always see these in these types of zombie movies. There's always some sort of society that starts like rebuilding, but it's always weird because it's like some sort of dictatorship where they're secretly killing somebody in the sewer underneath the building or in the basement. Like, what has happened since our last movie? Is it gonna pick up right after, or what? Like, I just need to know some sort of information right now. There is so many questions.
My question is Will Smith's character alive? Because remember, in the original movie, there was two endings, technically speaking. There was an alternative ending where he didn't die.
Oh, that's right.
So which one is the actual canon one, right? The one where he fucking held a grenade in his hand and fucking nuked himself with the bad guy? Or is it the one where the guy that he released the chick, the zombie, whatever creature, and he walked away afterwards? So which one is it, right? That's the question. which we don't know because it could just be him coming back as flashbacks, Will Smith, right?
Exactly.
So we don't know if he's just coming back for the flashbacks or whatever. And what importance does Michael B. Jordan have in this movie too, right? Because technically speaking, if you remember, he has a daughter in the original. So how was Michael B. Jordan's character in this movie? Or is Michael B. Jordan replacing Will Smith completely as a younger version, right?
Oh, that might be
or something like that. Something like that, right? It could be a younger version. It could go into like but it wouldn't make too much sense, right? Because they already tried de-aging, and they already tried it on him. Remember in that movie, or whatever it's called, Genesis Man or whatever?
Oh, that's right.
It's where they de-aged him and stuff. So they could have replicated that and just done flashbacks of like that first initial like round of like creatures fighting and shit like that, and him going to the city him becoming the last human in that city, right?
Yeah.
That who knew of whatever, right? There's so many questions.
So many. But I feel like if it was that sort of flashback thing, they wouldn't be saying Will Smith alongside Michael B. Jordan. I feel like it would be worded differently.
It would be worded differently. But this is what I'm saying, though. So he's alive, that means.
That's what I'm saying. This might clear up which actual ending was the canon ending, right? They probably left it at that so they could think of what sort of second film they want to make if they ever continue it. But then you could just like choose which one was actually canon and the other one was for those who want to see him die.
In case this one sucks.
Yeah.
The other one was canon. He died.
He died.
He actually died.
This is just a what if series.
A what if series. What if?
Yeah, so he probably did make it out, made it to the safe haven, and whatever shenanigans they start going through, Michael B. Jordan ends up joining his side, like he was brainwashed at first. He comes to realization, joins Will Smith and his crew and do all the stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like that would really be the only logical way to see it anyways. But at this point in time, the way they've been making films, especially with all this new, like you said, aging stuff and all this crap, it's going to be interesting to see what they actually do.
Yeah, man. Am I going to be hyped for it? Yeah. We'll see how this is going to go for Will Smith, though. You know, I don't think he's built enough goodwill back to make a blockbuster movie. You get me?
Back from what? Slapping?
Yeah.
That's
Do you think he's built goodwill back yet?
I mean, I don't know, because part of it, considering how much of a meme that moment was, right?
And I like to think like the internet for sure is forever, whatever that slap will forever be filmed and criticized, whatever it may be. But at the same time, the internet is so fucking fast. I think there's bigger and newer stories just going on top of each other. So it just gets piled on, like, and it's already down here in people's mind. You get me? It's already like out of thought completely.
Which is also why I think they might be, which is why they're also getting Michael B. Jordan, right? Because Michael B. Jordan is still so loved by the people's eye, literally as an actor, not just by who he is as a person, by a lot of women and other men. But like, right? So they're trying to like even it out, right? Or even if it is just, hey, this is Will Smith's last part in I Am Legend. Michael B. Jordan's not going to be taking the main role if we do an I Am Legend 3, right?
So it's more of a Michael B. Jordan is there or as a distraction, to say the least. So they're including him so people don't, remember that Will Smith is actually the star in this movie.
Weirdly enough, that's my assumption.
No, and I would agree with you because that's the only way they can make it work, honestly. So what I'm guessing, if Will Smith does not earn or get the goodwill back by the time they make the first trailer, that first trailer is going to be nothing but Michael B. Jordan on it.
Yeah.
Or the other characters, you got me? Or the story.
Yeah, I know.
It's not going to be Will Smith on it, you got me? Because he used to be the selling point of a movie, essentially.
100%.
Character dynamic, right?
Yeah.
But now, who knows, man? You know, I'm not saying that he's a bad actor. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. Will Smith kills it. Don't get me wrong, but has he earned the public's
love? Yeah,
yeah. So that's which is still a hard thing to earn back. You know,
which is still weird because I really haven't heard anything of Will Smith since that night when he slapped Chris Rock, right? Unless I missed something completely.
His apology.
Well, you see, that just proves how much it went under the radar. That even his apology was
not it.
Yeah, so I don't know. Is his YouTube channel still up? Is he even still posting YouTube videos? I remember he was like a YouTuber for a while.
I don't think so.
He even traveled to like Guatemala. He traveled to Antigua.
I don't think so.
He traveled to Guatemala.
No, I know that.
Oh, sorry.
It's about his YouTube channel.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Because then it's also one of those things where it's like, well, it's still Will Smith. We still love Fresh Prince, right?
Yeah, like his last video, I want to say it was from 2 months ago, and it's behind the scenes from the movie that he made, Emancipation.
Okay.
And then before that, it was 6 months ago, before any of those like trailers for that Emancipation trailer, whatever teasers, things they was including. It was the apology. So just, that.
So he's not a consistent uploader.
Before he was. It was like at least twice or 3 times a month.
But still, there's inconsistency.
Yeah, clearly.
Let alone when you have a full editing team in your backyard. Get it together. I think we should take a little break on that note right before we head back into these smaller, well, still pretty big news outlets announcements, right? Okay, hey, I need a pee. And we're back. We are back. Now, really into one thing I'm really excited about, right? Especially after what we spoke about a few weeks back, right? 2 weeks back, 2 episodes back.
2 episodes back.
So Pokemon Presents is returning next week on the 28th. 27th, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't know, Pokemon Presents is like Nintendo putting on a presentation. It's not very long. I believe it's just about 20 minutes. Sometimes a little longer, depending on how many announcements they actually have and the speeches from game developers and stuff. Where, it's just that. It's just like a small showcase of specific Pokemon news.
Mm-hmm.
Especially considering that if you listen to the trailer, it's just a quick 15-second announcement trailer that they posted on their Twitter. It has the original main theme song from Pokemon Red and Blue, right? Which is super exciting considering they also, like we mentioned 2 weeks ago, announced that Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games are going to be playable on the Switch through the Nintendo Switch Online. And that's just a little bit of an announcement, kind of like, yes, because we saw that it had like stuff for Red and Blue. We were making assumptions of like yellow, gold, silver, crystal, maybe them even fully redoing Ruby and Sapphire and Emerald, right? Considering we just had Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. So yeah, I'm excited. I know I'm going to be working, but I'm going to see if I can like sneak one headphone into my ear to fully listen onto what's happening.
Yeah.
During their Pokemon Day stream, it was where we actually got Pokemon Scarlet and Violet were announced alongside the Pokemon Legends Arceus updates, the Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, the mystery gift for Shaman, and The Alola update for Pokemon Go was also announced during this. So when they do this, they do a lot of major announcements, right? That change up these games, or even like we said, the update for Arceus that makes the games better. Especially considering since they are so online, it helps them actually like fix bugs in the actual moment and time, right? So that's super exciting to see. And yeah, I mean, what are you expecting? What are you hoping from this, Leche?
So my idea of how this is probably going to go down for them, right? They're going to probably first announce that, yes, they're confirming that red, blue, and yellow are coming back, and maybe even sneak in a few more if they want to after that, like crystal, whatever. Leaf green, fire red, sapphire, ruby, emerald, whatever, for the Nintendo shop online, whatever. That I think that I'm 100% certain they're gonna announce at least 2 or 3 games coming into that. And of course, they're gonna give us probably major update for Scarlet and Violet.
Mm-hmm.
Probably even sneak that they're announcing a DLC, maybe a new area.
That's right.
That's what I'm thinking too, because that would be the perfect opportunity, in my opinion, to stick in a fucking DLC. You know what I mean? Like, hey, by the way, in 2 weeks we're giving DLC. It's gonna cost you $20, but hey, we got all this new area, and in these new areas, you're able to get more Pokemons that you haven't got before in these other areas. So,
or they do what they did with Sword and Shield and announce that we get a new variation of maybe 3 legendaries. How we got Suicune, Articuno, and Moltres. Maybe this time the 3 dogs. That would seem the logical next step, and that would help tie in with Gold and Silver, right? Being part of the Game Boy Advance Nintendo Switch updates.
Yeah, maybe. No, that's what I'm saying. I'm agreeing with you. Yeah, that would be a great idea. Just tie everything, make everything a little good bundle, right?
Yeah.
Okay. 3 dogs are coming, Nintendo Online, and on Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. You got me?
Yeah.
And maybe even, just for poops and gigs as well, give updates to other minor games like Arceus as well. Maybe even the further DLC, or maybe even fucking tidbits like, hey, this is the next game we're working on. Or, announcements of like, we're working on these games outside of the major, games that you guys have been playing, like Scarlet and Violet.
Pokemon Legends Celebi.
Or something like that. You get me? Like a one-off Pokemon game like that. You get me?
Yeah.
That's what I'm expecting. I'm not expecting that much of this year. I'm more expecting something major next year, if that makes sense. Since Scarlet and Violet are gonna have already, I think, a year and a half by then, by the next year.
Yeah, but with this DLC, it normally lasts a little bit longer, right? That's what happened with Sword and Shield. People still play it, or they play mod versions of the game.
But that's what I'm saying. So the next major, if they do another one in between, for example, 6 months from now, they're definitely gonna announce another game, I guarantee.
Maybe, hopefully, right? Hopefully. Because we got to remember, again, it does say it's only lasting 20 minutes. Might run on a little longer depending on what type of crowd they're waiting for to start joining the YouTube lobby, because this will be being a live show through their YouTube channel. Like I said, this is Monday, February 27th for 20 minutes, celebrating Pokemon Day 2023, yada, yada. 6 PST, 6 a.m. PST, I believe. So that would be what, 9 a.m. for us?
9 EST. 3 hour difference.
3 hour difference. Yeah. So yeah. I'm sorry. I'll be at home, so probably just watching it. So yeah, I don't know. I'm super excited. I just want to know what's coming next, what they're doing for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, because I'm definitely enjoying Pokemon Scarlet and Violet right now. Still trying to complete my Pokedex. I know you started it a couple weeks ago. How are you doing with that?
Not great.
Not great. Oh gosh.
not gonna lie to you, I think I only picked it up for like 5 minutes and that's it.
Oh
Throughout
no, you just got your starter and that's it?
Yeah, pretty much. I
God
just
damn
got
it.
it and went to go and face that girl, and that's it. That's all I've done.
Oh gosh. Okay.
That's all I've done, bro.
You're missing a lot.
I know.
One thing I will try to stay though is try to stick with the southern area first of the map and slowly work your way up. It is a lot of traveling from place to place. I will let you know that much, but it's cool doing that because you learn the layout of the world while also getting lost in this world, right? With how much things like pop up as you're walking around, because this is so very open world. And then realizing to do certain things, you need to progress in certain areas, whether it be the gyms, the giant Pokemons, or even the star, what's it called, the star camps, which is like a whole other rivalry team type of thing, which you'll learn about. Or even literally just spending the day at the school and taking the classes there. Like, it's just so interesting how they do all that and give all these different characters like actual personalities, right? Mm-hmm. Like, the only thing I've been saying that really will make this any sort of Pokemon game better is actually doing voice lines, actually having voice actors.
That's what they need, bro.
Yeah, they really do.
In my opinion, in that game, to make it a full RPG.
Yes.
Right now it's an RPG, quote unquote. But to make it a full aspect RPG, bro, just give not even your character. It could be a silent protagonist, right?
Yeah.
And just make everyone else talk.
Yeah, that's the only real difference because you can't set.
You don't even have to make the professor or nothing talk. Make the villains talk, bro. The villains is what makes the fucking games, bro. In my opinion.
Well,
be real, bro.
Yes, but it's so hard because specifically with this one, right? Yeah. There are so many characters that cross paths with you that need a voice line. Like, it's not just like Pokemon Arceus where you are consistently with the professor, the people at the actual like city hall, and like a few other outside characters. Like, literally here you have 5 from the star camps, all 8 gyms. Then you have your rival, like 2 professors, all the school teachers.
At least the gym leaders too with voice lines. Even if like right. One's fuck it, bro, just give them a voice line. Give them personality, not just because of how they dress. And even they added animations, of course, to how they are and shit.
But facial expressions,
like adding voices to those expressions into their, characteristics, is going to be a crazy change. You get me?
Yeah.
But at the same time, it would be a great thing to start with the people who voice them in the animes, to voice them in the game too. Make it very, one into one.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and I mean another exciting game that has very iconic voice lines, right? Mortal Kombat 12 is set to be confirmed for 2023 release. I still say that questioning because even though in some articles that I've seen, they're saying it like it is set in motion. There hasn't really been a full-on confirmation from these developers just because they happen to be seen in front of this area together, walking in and out or posing for a picture. Like, until I hear it from their mouth.
Right. Man, that's crazy. MK12, bro. Shit.
Yes. Which again goes back to the whole thing on how they continue the story. Are we still continuing the storyline from MK11? Are we getting a whole other timeline? Is this going to come back with Armageddon, right? Because Armageddon was technically the world ripping, or was it Tet?
To fix that situation, they did 9, right?
Yes.
So 9 was like, to fix the continuity, let's go back. Fuck it, we'll send it. Let's go back all the way to the first Mortal Kombat. Make that raid and fuck up the timeline on their end to make that the new continuity timeline. So that's what happened.
That's right. So it's all so there's all that. Like, what are we getting for sort of game? Hopefully, we got our basic characters returning, right? The ones who haven't died.
But the thing is, remember, if you remember, I don't know if I remember, how MK11 died. Died. How MK11
ended.
It became Liu Kang became fucking God. Essentially,
Yes, fusing with
created
Raymond.
a new timeline.
Yes.
So what does that mean, right?
That's right.
If we're continuing from there, is it gonna be him as God Raiden, the new God of MK world, or are we setting like another reset button, boom, and just fucking, or is he gonna take Raiden's position, what it was, or is he just gonna recreate everything, like just make it how it was before, right?
Yeah, which is gonna be interesting too, because if we do reset, we also lose so many awesome characters.
But at the same time, it will introduce way newer characters, right, as well. So there's like but leave the iconic characters like Scorpion. So
I know
Sonya, Jax, like all those characters.
Johnny Cage, yeah. But it goes back to the thing now. Like, do you risk losing characters are already loved, like Cassie Cage, right, and Jax's daughter Jackie, or do you reset that, lose them, and bring forward some characters that are now going to be questionable in the public eye on how they're accepted, right?
Received.
Thank you.
But the thing is, think about it like this. We got introduced so many new characters in MK10 and 11, dude. And they're fucking iconic, bro.
Yeah, that's true.
Like Aaron Black, bro. Jackie and Cassie, So it's like,
even the weird, I never remember her name. Devora, thank you. I almost said Gamora. I knew it wasn't that played, but yeah, Devora. It's just so hard, especially with Mortal Kombat. That is such a great game, right? And just about everyone, they have like great storytelling as well, awesome characters and their moves that fit the characters they're making, right? It's interesting. And then along with them saying this is going to be released in 2023, it is also set to be releasing around the same time as, I believe it was Tekken 8, Street Fighter 6, and a whole bunch of other fighting games that are set to be like all releasing around the same time.
Oh my God, dude.
So it's literally going to be a fight to the finish with all these fighting games coming out right after each other.
It's a fighting game of fighting games, if you will.
Yes.
Because 100%. That is insane, dude. Street Fighter, Tekken, Mortal Kombat, all coming out at the same time. At that point, which franchise is more iconic to you, right?
Even Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is set to be released around the same time too.
On, bro. It's like they're doing this shit on purpose for some people. Bro.
It really is.
But yeah, that's gonna. I'm just more interested in like, where is the story heading? What are we doing? What is next for the series?
Or even who are they bringing back, right? Because in some of these, like they lose some characters, they bring them back occasionally. Not even that. Is there any other like outside characters that they could still be doing collaborations with, right? Because we also got like Jason, we got Freddy Krueger, we even got Alien and Predator. What I feel like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were one, right? Yeah, they were. Yeah. So
no, they were in Justice League.
Oh yeah, that's right. I don't know why I'm confusing them, but yeah, like what other sort of collaborations can they be doing and bringing on?
At some point, remember they brought back action heroes too. They brought Rambo and Terminator.
That's right.
What is going to stop them from bringing characters like that, like icons from the 80s, right?
Well, who would you like? Saying that, who would you bring? I mean, they did Alien and Predator. Would they bring back Sigourney Weaver's character with just guns?
They did bring RoboCop too. Fuck already.
Oh, that's right, RoboCop.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's true.
It's so weird, and they even did like DC versus Marvel, and
They'll probably go the route how Dead by Daylight did, right? They'll probably bring like Ghostface. Fuck it, bro. What is it called? Pinhead.
uh
Pyramid Head.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
That would be fucking interesting as fuck if they bring in fucking Pyramid Head.
Mm-hmm. But again, at that point too, it just depends on like what sort of why am I blinking on these big words like
fatality,
copyright issues, if there's any, right? Because even right now with Dead by Daylight, right, they're pulling out Leatherface because Leatherface is about to have his own game similar to Dead by Daylight. So they're pulling him from DVD. So if you want to play Leatherface, you have to buy his game, right? Even though there's a similar character called the Hillbilly, but even still, then it is still a very different sort of mechanics that you have to do. Yeah.
It's not the Leatherface I know.
Yeah, really. So I don't know. I'm excited, but I'm also still questioning the whole Mortal Kombat thing. It doesn't, especially since it's been a while since we last heard anything really from Mortal Kombat.
I really thought it was the end. That's why.
Yeah.
The way they ended it, I'm like, what else could you do?
Yeah, it seemed like a very logical ending, but yeah. Unless they make it unless they make it like again where you could create your own character, right?
I hope they don't.
Back to Armageddon. I'm always going to reference Armageddon. I loved Armageddon so much.
Don't get me wrong, it was good, but now looking back, I'm like, I can see why this one, a lot of people did not like it.
Yeah.
Way too many characters, which I love though. That was my favorite part. Way too many characters. So basic of move that all the characters had the same move. Fatalities were not a thing. Brutalities were not a thing. Nothing like that. There was no crazy combos. There was nothing like that. So that's why people didn't like it for that reason. It was
and even so then, like all your arena kills that you could do were so difficult to pull off in older games compared to like now, especially when you have arena interactables, right? We can like swing off the branch or jump up and break the branch on your opponent's head if your character is strong enough. When we just like the passersby who's just going, you could just grab him and launch him at your opponent. Like that was not seen in the last one. Yeah. All you saw them doing was cheering from the background with the same 0.2 second movement.
Yeah, the same sprite animation, literally moving every like 2 seconds. So it looks like it's moving.
Yeah.
But yeah. There's so many differences compared to what that was back then to now.
Yeah, I don't know.
But the kills are always gonna be there, you know. It's always gonna be glorious. That's what I'm excited for every time, bro. Or they taught themselves in nastiness, right?
Yeah. And even so, the other thing too is like with MK11, how you had the different fighting styles, right? That changed your move loadout. So unless you memorized your every single character's move loadout, you're going in completely blind fighting per character, right? Let alone like even the skins were fucking cool as hell.
So you could change them up. Character had at least three variation.
Yeah.
So essentially, actually, the roster, if you want to include every variation, was fucking humongous, dude.
Yeah.
Because how many characters there was? I think there was like 20 plus characters.
I believe so.
And each one had 3.
That's about 60. That's about 60 characters.
60 different combos, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, holy fuck. There was actually some variety in that game. If you really think about it. So.
And for some specific characters, the complete fighting style changed 180.
Mm-hmm.
Like in some, you have to be such close-up fighting characters, melee characters, where then you have to be a distance to mid-range shooting character, like Aaron Black, right? So It was so weird. It was so weird, and even I don't know. I kind of want to go back and just relive the days of Mortal Kombat now.
Yeah, but then you realize, like, oh shit, I actually suck at this game, bro.
Yeah, well, yeah. The one game I did online completely couldn't even get off the floor.
Mm-hmm.
No, I lied. Couldn't hit the floor because my opponent just kept juggling me in the air.
He was balancing it out, bro.
He was. It was bad.
How long can I juggle this food?
I know. It was bad. It was real bad. But yeah, I mean, anything else you want to add, Leche?
Other than the overwhelming hype we're gonna get later this week. No,
Yes.
we'll talk about it next week. We'll be in it already next week. I'd rather not mention it, so.
Okay. Going off of that though, it was just a small little thing that I saw. And I'm just so interested to see what they actually fucking do. Among Us and Destiny 2 is having a crossover event, I guess.
I don't know how that's going to work.
We might be seeing Ikora, Cade 6, and some, yeah, sorry, wow. And Savala as like Among Us characters. Maybe, right? Maybe. Or we might just see them like with specific armor sets that you could tell that's a warlock, that's a hunter, that's a titan. But yeah, they're having a crossover event. I thought it was fun. At first, I thought it was another one with Fortnite.
I thought so too. I thought it was another Fortnite collab.
And then I reread it.
Like, it's really been a year since the last collab.
Yeah. And then I reread it and it said Among Us. And I was like, now I'm interested.
How is that going to work for us, Destiny players?
I know.
What do we get? They get our office.
Our ghost becomes an Among Us character.
That would be funny. I would actually. That would be actually cool. They become a little alien.
It becomes a little alien, right? Or you have a finisher, right? That looks like some sort of Among Us kill. Like you summon the little sprite and the sparkles, and it just like opens its mouth and like launches its tongue.
Or something like that.
Something. It's dumb. Or yeah, it's a little
outfit wise. We're not gonna get nothing.
No, I really don't. Unless like the helmet somehow all make the little
make that work. You get me? I don't know. That's gonna probably be one of the best ornaments for that game, though.
100%. 100%.
All of us just a little big ass thing, you know.
I was gonna say
that's the helmet. Just gets one solid color.
Yeah.
And then like the chest piece has the backpack.
Oh, that'd be so dope. That'd be so dope.
The hunters already have that. They have a cloak that literally has a fucking backpack.
Yeah. The only thing I could think of is to make it like a joke, right? But it would be so much work to do. It's like rebuilding a whole game where the day before Destiny servers just go completely down. The next day when the actual launch of the event goes up, it goes back online and we're all the Among Us sprites just running around. Every enemy is the Among Us sprite just going around. But it would be so much work to do that and turn everything off.
Wouldn't it be even funnier, dude? You launch Destiny that day, the 28th, and Among Us opens instead. You're like, oh shit, you got played.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I wouldn't mind that.
That would be funny. Just prank everyone real quick.
Oh,
we said February 28th. My bad. We meant March 1st. Be like, oh.
April 1st.
April 1st.
April 1st. Oh gosh, yeah, it was just that, really. So on that note, Leche, where can people find you?
People can find me on
every week. It's like a clockwork with you, huh?
Bro, it's like I like to build suspense or something, bro. But yeah, you can find me at Leche on Instagram, or you can still follow me at TechnoFreak95 on Twitch. And how about you, Tito?
I am also on Instagram at OneAlphaPenguin, and I'm also on Twitch at OneAlphaPenguin. You guys can follow the podcast at Instagram at TakeASip_pod, or even go subscribe to the YouTube channel where these episodes also go up, youtube.com/TakeASip. What am I missing? Was that it? Yeah, that's really it. Thank you for listening. Drink some water, have some fun, and we'll see you all next week. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.